Welcome to Launch Story. In each episode, you will get a behind-the-scenes look at a course, a program, a product launch. Here is your host, Dr. Ada Barlatt.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited to have Meshell Baker here with me today. Meshell is the owner of the newly founded SuperFan Solutions that has been established to train sales professionals, sales leaders, and business owners to establish unstoppable selling confidence. Along with her team, she leverages 20 years of sales success to help her clients in more than a dozen countries to align beliefs and behaviors, delivering increase and impact to their consumer attraction and client transactions. Meshell is a captivating, award-winning international keynote speaker, sales and confidence coach, and director of global sales and development for the National Association of Sales Professionals. She has an amazing gift of clarity and is renowned for her no-nonsense approach that inspires transforming obstacles into opportunities and problems into possibilities. I'm excited to have you here today, Meshell. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah. Tell us about this new business, SuperFan Solutions, and what are you launching? What have you launched? Tell us.
Well, Ada, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So SuperFan Solutions is me stepping into my brave, right? So we're all here to play a bigger game than we ever anticipated. And one of the things I really enjoy is creating experiences. So on the front end of sales, one of the statistics that many people are not familiar with is that the sales transaction is 80% emotional and 20% logical, right? And I know as an engineer, you can appreciate the logical component.
Yes.
What happens is that's the bells and whistles. That's the features and benefits. The person won't care. So if you've ever heard the quote, people don't care what you know until they know you care. That's the 80%, right? They don't care what you know about the 20 until you can clearly connect with them at an emotional level.
The
challenge is you can't do that when you're not in line with your emotions. When you're scared of losing the sale, when you're scared of them saying no, when you're desperate and have commission breath because you got to pay a bill or your mortgage, or you might lose your job, your emotions are tuned into scarcity, lack, and negativity, and that's what you transfer to that person during that sales call because it happens at an unconscious level.
Yes.
And so the work that I do is around the psychology of selling. That's why I said when I talk about establishing unstoppable confidence, it happens at an unconscious level. It's the consistency of daily activities of getting your mindset to understand that you're actually a gift, right? Your presence in that sales call is a miracle. And you are the gift that's there to help them transform, but that work needs to be done before you ever see that client or that potential buyer.
I love it. And so helping people realize the gift that they are and helping them own that is what the focus is of SuperFan Solutions. This is the work that you're doing.
SuperFan Solutions is about creating a clear vision of your ability to transform that client's experience through your offer, your product, whatever it is you have that you believe will help them, is getting you aligned to the belief of that experience for that potential buyer and that client. It's like what we did. We did work years back. It's the vision, and everything you do now, you incorporate the vision. If you're not clear on your vision, then you don't have one for your client. Otherwise, you're just like everyone else. You're out there, have a product in front of you here, me. Otherwise, with this, you're actually inviting them in to co-create.
I love it. And vision is so important. Yes.
Right.
So important.
Yeah. So the whole work that we do is taking sales professionals, sales leaders in their teams, business owners in their teams to actually get clear on what that overall vision of sales success is, and then create the cadence and the daily activities and all of that support on the front end, on the back end of what that looks like so that their buyers will have that experience. Because when you as a business owner, you as a person can clearly delineate the difference of working with someone who is good at what they do versus someone who loves what they do.
Right. For
And
sure. For sure.
SuperFan only comes from love of what your offer is and your desire to transform your client. So anybody who's ready to do that, I'm ready to work with you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So I'm so excited for this new company. It sounds like you're poised to make a big statement in the world and to really shift selling from what can be known as creepy and ugly into like real possibilities.
Exactly.
Like you said in the introduction, changing problems into possibilities. I love that. I love that. So tell us about these cards. You have a picture behind you. I know that you have brought them into the world. Tell us what are they and how do they help people?
Right.
Oh, and you have them with you. Excellent.
I call them my babies, right? I didn't birth children. I birthed confidence cards.
Excellent. So tell us, what is a confidence card and how did you come up with the idea?
So the idea came about as COVID-19 happened. The majority and the bulk of my business was coaching at the time. Okay. And so what happened was within 6 days, 72% of my business dissipated because coaching is not an urgent need in the face of, I don't know if I'm going to have a job, sales. I don't know if, right. I work at a site and now we're being told to stay home. I don't know what's going to happen, how long the company's going to pay me. So people were really being, conscious of their expenses in there over for the next, 8 weeks or whatnot. And so coaching was one of the first things to go. It's a luxury in many people's mind. And any clients that were on the hopper to move into this, many of them, most of them basically decided no. And so at that moment, as I sat there, where the decision in that instant was, you know what? I call my higher power God. You can call him divine, Buddha, Allah, the source, the goddess, creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever you call that is greater than us. I call him God. I was like, God, you told me I could have a thriving business. So you do what you do and I'll do what I do. So once I got calm, then the next question was, okay, money follows value. This is what I teach people. If you want more money, you must become more valuable. You must have an offering or a product that's more valuable. People don't just raise your prices because someone said you could. What is the value of the end product that's going out? So my question was, how can I be more valuable to the people I serve around confidence?
Sure. Okay.
Question. The next thing I did, I woke up, or it was I don't remember. It was the middle of the night. I woke up, but then I was like, I heard create a product. And I was just like, okay, I got excited. And then next thing was like, okay, what product? Okay, then I went back. What product? I went on about my business. Well, I've been keeping a journal. I learned this from Earl Nightingale video I watched years ago. I don't know if it was around Think and Grow Rich or The Secret or something I heard, but I kept a journal of ideas because I knew that one day I would be able to create them. I didn't know when. It's like another one of my babies that I carry. And I was like, and I call it, it's like my journal of money. Right? Listen to, multimillionaires and billionaires. When the time hits, pretty much all of them have a journal of ideas, fully formed and developed or halfway ideas, so that they can, when the opportunity presents, they just go source. Right. When the resources present. So I went to the journal and I went through, and the thing that had the most energy that would require the least effort, because I knew I just wanted to create something. And I picked, and I had a deck of cards.
Oh, okay.
And that's all it said was a deck of cards. So the next question was like, so this is literally what I thought. What I'm gonna put on the cards, right? It wasn't like this intelligent, what shall I put on the cards? What I put on the cards, right?
The voice is in her head. Yep.
So then I was just like, okay, what is confidence? What does confidence mean to me? Because again, it's the value of confidence. So my response when people ask me, what is confidence? Confidence happens in the moment where circumstance, situation, or person where you believe you're enough.
Woo!
That's it. That's all confidence is. I believe I'm enough, so your next decision will support your belief of being enough.
Wow, that one, hopefully that was on the cards. That's great.
Most people do not believe they're enough in the moment.
Yeah.
They go right into, that's that fight or flight, our reptilian brain. So we have been conditioned as our human and biological nature is to want to be safe and cozy and go in the cave. So we go into flight instead of fight. When you believe you're enough, the next thing will happen is you start to remember what you already know. And so how do I get to be enough? It doesn't have, it's a buildup to the moment. It's the work you do prior to the moment that feeds and fuels your mind in the moment. Without the work, you'll never have it. Your mind can only reference what you've given it. So the cards came about because, well, what is confidence? I feel worthy that I'm enough in that moment. What is worth? Worth is value.
Right.
So the cards are simply values. I am encouraging you to ask a question so it can start to fuel your imagination and spark your ingenuity and your belief to the activities that support being that value. So you want like what many people pull one each day. Some people pull them in the moment. So they'll pull them in the morning and that's their card for the day. Some people will pull a second card when they're having a little challenge to give them a little burst to go do something or be valuable in that moment. So that way they have an extra boost.
Yeah.
People use them as a theme for the week, right?
Very cool.
So I've gotten a lot of feedback on the use of them, but the biggest thing is that the prompting questions that support the value is what they're finding the most enriching, because our mind doesn't like a gap. So when we ask ourselves a question and just walk away, it will procure the answer. We all have this reticular activator that is like a dog playing fetch, but we're so busy making up what it means, we don't give our infinite mind the chance to do what it's meant to do on our behalf.
Amazing, amazing. So could you read, not to put you on the spot, but to a little bit put you on the spot. Could you read one of these? Could you read one of these? I didn't tell you I was going to ask that before, but now I'm so engaged. I'm like, I want to know.
So, as a sales professional,
yes,
the most powerful thing you can do when you are, so one of the rules of thumbs of selling is the person who's talking the most is the one being sold.
Okay.
So the most powerful gift you have for your client interaction and experience is to ask them questions and then allow them to answer. That's how you get the co-creation. They will tell you everything you need.
Okay.
Talk, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
Also, it's how we capture someone's attention. The number one way to capture someone's attention, conscious and unconscious, is a question. Our mind comes to a screeching halt. It works for us too.
Okay.
So there's questions. I am forgiving. Who can I forgive and free myself of negativity?
Well, yeah, of course. And then so automatically, I got to think about that.
Yep.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And so how many cards are in the deck?
52.
52 cards in the deck, each with their own value and a question.
With their own value and a question.
Wow. And you mail these to people. How does it work?
So when you order them, now I'm working on, they will be on Amazon by the end of this quarter. So my team is working on that. So when you order them, you receive a pack, is shrink wrapped like a deck of cards. Yes. And the reason I did that is, and it might change when it goes on Amazon to a card pack because I'm working that out. But right now you're getting a little
little pouch for them.
Little pouch that once you open them, you can keep them in the pouch, because I wanted to be able to keep them together, and they just come in an envelope, which I, stick in the envelope, address, and it gets mailed to you. So either me or someone on my team will do it. It depends on who's doing what that day and how many orders we have.
I see. So now, so eventually Amazon might be printing and shipping them for you. So not
eventually, Amazon will.
Amazon will be printing and shipping them for you.
Yeah, so I learned quickly, this is not something that is in the best interest of Meshell printing labels and doing all of that when you can make them available. And the thing about it is getting them on the Amazon, my goal is to get them where I have them in more than one language.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the goal, is to getting them in more than one language, because I have someone that I work with I have an organization I'm a part of from other countries, and they're like, oh my God, if you can get this in another language, these are absolutely incredible.
That is so fantastic. That is so fantastic. So what I'm hearing, one is an amazing story to get to this idea, and so much interesting tidbits of, you know, the journal about money and all these other things you've given us, which is really cool. Then the other great thing I'm hearing is, like, you had the idea, you got it out there as quickly as possible, you tested it, you had people use it. They're like, this is amazing. They're using it in ways probably you might not even have anticipated. And now people are asking you to take it to the next level, and you're kind of moving along with that. I love that. I love that. I feel like that's such a great example of business ideas when they work well, instead of you sitting and like spending all this time and building something sort of with the, if you build it, they will come, and you could have spent years and did it in 50 languages, and you know what I mean? And put it out into the world. You know, you took these steps that were moving you in the right direction, and you're kind of being pulled like, oh yeah, that was a good step. Now this, come here and come here and come here. You're moving up the chain. Wow, wow, wow. So right now, it's so interesting. Most of the people I chat with in these interviews are doing digital products. So I find it fascinating that this is a physical product. So I have a couple more questions there. How do you get them printed now? Like, how did you learn how to do that? What did you Google it? What happened?
This is when, and this is why the work that I do around confidence, confidence is the inside game, right? And when you are clear on what you're here to do, why you're here to serve, I mean, even if you have people have a job and they think that's bad. No, you can be who you're called to be at your work. Like, when people reference me, I am the same person. I've been the same person for the last 20 plus years. My descriptor is exactly the same, because I knew that there was something greater. I just didn't know what, and I trusted that every place that I was just going to help me through the next step. Right? So I didn't begrudge anywhere. I was grateful. I was in excellence. I delivered at the highest standard everywhere I have been. So I can call people from 25 years ago and they will greet me like they met me yesterday. So I want to start with that. When you are truly believing you're enough today. It's not about where I'm going to get or how I'm going to get there, or start like hating your job because you want to be in jumping. Remember, everywhere you go, there you are. You're the one person you will never get away from. So understanding and creating a confident value in yourself is of the utmost importance for an amazing life. That's why I do the work I do, because I used to think that there was somewhere or something I could get that would make me happy. And when I finally discovered true peace and happiness and joy was with me wherever I was, it was game changing. And I just want to give this to as many people as possible. So the rationale for the cards is it's a convergence of me keeping notes of when I'm somewhere and when I'm giving a presentation and someone's like, oh my God, when you hear like people ask you a ton of questions off of one little section of your presentation, take note, because they just told you a program that you can create. Right. When you hear people say certain things, they will tell you your audience and your future clients are already telling you what they need from you and how you show up and the value that you create. And so cards was something I see that most of the women that I serve, they love like oracle cards and cards like that. And so having something that's tangible and physical is one of the things is it really gets you focused on that activity too. Right. Digital things are great, but when you're actually pulling, like when you play a game, a board game, it's very different from playing an online game. When people are sitting there with Monopoly and they're moving around and they're doing the dice, like think about the hype and the way people talk to each other, and all of a sudden like people like, was your partner like, no, it's a hotel. I don't care if you're gonna be broke. You landed on my hotel.
That's so true. That's so true. A physical product does give a whole nother experience. And how did you decide, or how did you decide or discover the company that would help you print them?
So what I did was every time I hit a barrier, I turn it into an internal question. I literally, like the cards, I just ask myself the question. I've learned everything we need exists inside of us. When you understand you were born with 100 billion brain cells, you have genius in you that we never tap into. Remember, your unconscious warehouses every conversation, every book, every video, every class, every conversation, every magazine, every video, everything you've ever done is warehoused in you. And it's for such a time. We don't get, when you have epiphanies, ahas, revelations, it's because you have consistently kept learning about whatever that place where you want to be an expert or you want to be a thought leader. You have poured into that and learned, and you start to pop, and then it starts to reference it. And so when you get in those moments and you're confident you can do something, you will have all that tool is in you. It comes right out. So because I was confident I could create these cards.
Yes.
Remember, 72% of my income. So now I'm not working with like all of a sudden, like I got a whole bunch of money to go pay like someone to design and all this. So I'm working with a belief and like no money, basically.
That'd be an interesting t-shirt. I'm working with a belief in no money, but
I know, right? That's a good t-shirt, right? So I'm working with a belief and no money at the time, but I really believed, and I realized it was something I wanted to do for 5 years. I had wanted to create a product because I'm a speaker. I wanted something that I could put on my table. I wanted something that people could experience me and not be there. Like I spent years having to be physically present to give my clients and listeners and followers an experience of me. So I'm really in that space of, I know I'm called to a bigger game. So I asked, and I just kept remembering, I'm like, oh, Fiverr, Fiverr. That's where you can go get affordable design. So I started working with someone on the design. I went and Googled affirmation cards, and I looked at others' designs until something sparked. I kept looking and looking and looking, and all of a sudden I was like, it was the spark. And I'm like, oh, I know what I want, right? I couldn't get someone to design the cover the way I wanted, so that's my design. Like I'm up one night, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm like trying to get it, and all of a sudden I was like, I can do this. I literally had one of those moments where all of a sudden I had a surge and was like, I can design my own cover. And I went on the Canva and I created it, and I sent it out to like 5 people, and they were like, oh my God, that's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Right. And so when I had the guy do the inside, he came back with like a water stain, and I was like, no, there's smoke. So I needed to be colorful, but I needed to be a smoke inspired like the cover. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, so then I got that done. I was like, okay, I got to print them. I'm going to print them. I remember a woman from a retreat I did 4 years ago who had designed a deck of cards that I have. I text her and she texts me back.
Amazing.
Right. So it was just like the belief. The belief always precedes what we call the inspired action. Right. Most people are just doing what they think they need to, ought to, should do. When you're taking inspired in spirit.
Yes.
When you're taking that action from inside, it will always lead you to something exceedingly more than you ever thought possible.
I love that.
You cannot get there without confidence. Can't.
I love that. And the confidence is just this belief that you are enough, which is such a lovely foundation.
What you're here to create. And it's the consistent practice of strengthening our mind is a muscle.
Yes.
Right? And like any other muscle, if you don't exercise it, it atrophies. Like every muscle on the body, if you do not exercise it, it atrophies. You meet people who want all this amazing, incredible life. They haven't read a book. They haven't taken a course. They haven't gone to coaching. They haven't even watched an inspiring movie on someone who's had an incredible life and overcome obstacles, right? But they want, right? It's like a wish list for Santa Claus. There is no genie or Santa Claus coming, people. You want more, you become more. And the more is the value. So anything you say, encouraging, discouraging, forgiving, I'm bitter and resentful, collaborating, I am competing with other people, kindness, I'm judgment, passionate, I'm like dry, and I'm like, I'm emotionalist, thankful, I'm ingrateful, and I don't have enough. Freedom, I'm always talking about I don't have enough time. I wish I had more time. I'm bound, right? So each one of these, if you think of the opposite, that's how most people are living. This is to abundance.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Well, the next thing I'd love to, I'm always curious about in launches, we talked a little bit about the technical and things and how you discovered, you know, how to print it and your process behind that, which is beautiful. You mentioned a few times already different people that came together, an international organization, a friend that sent you a reference. Let's talk about your community and how those people around you that were so supportive of you to get this idea to where it is. What are your secrets on that end?
Well, thank you for that. And I realized that I did not update my, when you reference who I was, I'm a co-founder in ShiftCo, which is a business growth community for conscious entrepreneurs. And that community is, and I've found conscious entrepreneurs like you here and there. I find like, you know, periodically I'd peek out and be like, are you? Yes, I am. Okay. And you're like, ah, you get all excited, right? Right. So at one point again, I was like, where is the tribe of these people? Right. I was exhausted of, you know, here and there. And I really wanted to be in a community because, you know, Jim Rohn says we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And so ShiftCo was one of those questions that I attracted. And it's been absolutely amazing. So the difference in what a conscious entrepreneur is versus a traditional, a traditional entrepreneur thinks in terms of money, right? Because entrepreneurialism is about money, right? If your business isn't making money, it's by the US government standard, it's called a hobby. I don't know what other countries, but it's considered a hobby if you don't, you know, create a income and profit. And so they think about what will people buy. Right. And so they'll, you know, whereas a conscious entrepreneur thinks about how can I help people transform? And so they tend to create a product without vetting it first and then try to go sell it. And then they try to convince people about the transformation. Whereas the traditional entrepreneur looks for where's the watering hole or the people that will buy buy this, right? They hear something and go, there's a gap in the market, and then they go create it. Right. So the conscious entrepreneur sees there's a gap in the soul. Right. And they try to help you fill it. So my thing is right now, we are in a space where majority and the bulk of humanity works. So the way we heal our planet is by helping the workplace. And the way we help the workplace, because small business is what employs the most of our population, is help conscious entrepreneurs thrive. So our number one commitment to people in our community is that your business will thrive. We hold ourselves to that commitment as co-founders, that if anybody joins the community and you find your business isn't thriving, you must reach out to one of us and tell us, and we will do everything. We drop everything because our commitment is to thrive. Like we are here to help you create what we call meaningful money, because a conscious entrepreneur, everything they do has meaning. So they're the ones that are like, well, it's okay if I don't make a lot of money, but if I help people, right? They almost shy away from the money because they want to help. Right. And so this is the convergence of how you create meaningful money, right? And so there's trainings and programs, and the community itself, when you join, you acquire a mentor, you acquire a coach, you have on-demand training. You're actually guided to create a map that's specific to your why, your what you want to create, and show you the steps. And it's all wrapped around a community of, we have happy hours. We have so many opportunities for you to consistently engage in the community throughout the week. Amazing. What it's like. So, and it's right now they are in launch pricing. So if you go over to shiftco.global and look for an event, you can jump in. We have hub events. I'm one of the co-leaders of the Austin Hub. We have an event next September 8th, next Tuesday. But I just say this to say it's every Tuesday. So if this is in perpetuity, just come and join us the second Tuesday of the month. So, but if you are looking for a community and really know that what you offer is going to create change and impact, and you'd like to create some income so you can, hire people, you can give back to your community, you can vacation with your family, right? The business you're creating is meant to help you to have an incredible life, not to struggle. And we really are helping those conscious people who want to heal and help to thrive.
Amazing, amazing. And so it's through the support of this community and people that you've met in this community that have helped propel this new product that you have.
I'm like, so I have the products and the SuperFan Solutions. So really being in that space of, I am enough, and I believe that I know enough, and I have enough experience to really support people in creating incredible sales structures within their companies or for themselves.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. And so I imagine the community has been helpful to get the word out about your products and your services, and particularly these cards.
Incredible.
Yeah. Are there other ways that you've gotten the word out to share this fabulous product that you have with the world?
It's interesting. I've had so many opportunities to speak around ShiftCo and around SuperFan Solutions that I haven't even had a chance to promote.
Interesting.
And so as my infrastructure started changing, when we talk about what you do, building out my back end. So I actually have a project manager now, who is, I call her my wrangler.
That's a great title.
Oh yeah, seriously. I tell people I'm a jackrabbit squirrel. If you had a hybrid of a jackrabbit and a squirrel, that would be me. Like, I wake up with ideas. I go on meetings with people and I'm already like, oh, you know what? Have you thought about it? And they're like, oh my God, who are you? And I'm like, I've learned it just has to come through. So yeah, so working with that, to get back to the products and the community, it's that support, right? Really, once you get clear, you actually kick in the law of attraction, and abundance starts to rain and downpour on you. And generally what many people experience is overwhelm. So having a community of people who know things like you're like, when you start to get into that deluge of clients, you're going to have automation. Right. That being able to pick up the phone and contact anybody. When you want to scale at any point, you must have automation. It's not even something you can go without anymore in our world. It's a necessity. And having many business owners know there's a way to do it in the beginning. So as you scale, it grows with you instead of being in that, deer in headlights and like, oh my God, I got to do this now. Yes. Yeah, but that's an example of, when you ask a question, someone is always there to answer. And because it's a conscious community, every answer, every support, every time I've jumped on a call or a Zoom with someone, I felt so free to say everything I wanted to say, to share everything. The competition is not even something you ever hear, because when you're conscious, you're in abundance. You understand there's an infinite source. So it doesn't even exist. 80% of our members are through referrals. Like, we haven't even promoted, and we're growing because, like, I have a conversation with you, and then someone will listen to this and they'll go over and they'll join it. It's just because conscious, they're looking for this. Right. They're looking for this community because they know we have a shift that's happening.
That's amazing. And as more and more people come together to support each other, then just more and more people will come together to support each other. It'll grow and it'll grow and it'll grow. Yeah. My goodness. Well, I am so thankful, deeply thankful that you were able to join me today, Meshell. I loved seeing the cards. It's great that you have them. And you're hearing your story about how it was really a culmination of so many different events that came together. And as you so lovely put in your introduction, truly changing an obstacle into an opportunity and a problem. And like, it's amazing. I said that as I introduced you, and then you were like, here's my story, and you did it. So that is amazing. And then really emphasizing this episode, I think more so than the other conversations I've had, the importance of community and how community can really change, like how you sell. You might not need a huge ad campaign or some of these other things that people, in marketing are told you things you have to do. You might not need that with the appropriate community. That's amazing. Yeah. So behind you on the screen, we can see where we can find the cards.
Yes, so you go to my website, meshellbaker.com/confidence.
Excellent, excellent. You also mentioned ShiftCo Global, shiftco.global. I'll include both of those links in the description. Any other links or resources you'd like to share with people watching?
If the only other thing is, if you are interested in having a conversation with me about confidence, about sales, about your team, your business, and how to incorporate and really get yourself into that space of super fandom, right? It's absolutely incredible. You work so much less, and what you attract, when you hear people complaining about sales and working with clients, it's time over for that. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet. How many clients do you really need to thrive? And how can we get you those awesome ones, right? The Pareto rule, how can we get you where 80% of your clients are just a delight, right? And it up levels how you think, how you how you do business. So just email me. It's Meshell@meshellbaker.com. So
amazing.
So she'll put that in the chat, but send me an email. I will connect with you and just say, I want to learn more about SuperFan Solutions, and we will connect and we will get you started. And it's the commitment I have to all my clients is that when you do the work with me, at some point in your business and some of your business life, someone's going to turn around and look at you and ask you, who are you? That's my commitment, because you have turned and you have changed how you do business. So you've become so valuable that the experience that you give them is extraordinary. It's not even anything they're like, oh my God, who are you, right? And it's in a beautiful way because they've never experienced anything like you.
Wow, what a gift. Let's end on that. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. And I'm just so happy you were able to join me. And I'll see everyone else on the next episode.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Ada.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to be notified for the next episode. If you know someone that would benefit from this episode, please share. If you are ready to improve your launch results, visit Dr. Ada's website at www.operationsallied.com. All of the links mentioned in the episode are in the description below. Have a great day.